Though the Beatles were generally referred to as the Fab Four, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, possibly the most successful songwriting duos in music history, are credited with writing the majority of the band's songs. The Beatles were the biggest band in the world despite only being active for 10 years because of their prolific songwriting, which led to the creation of numerous timeless classics. Following the band's 1970 dissolution due to several artistic and personal conflicts, each member focused on building a solo career. Though each member's post-Beatles work is remarkable in its own right, George Harrison was the most successful now that he had more creative freedom. Wonderwall Music and Electric Sound, the two solo albums he had released while he was a member of the Beatles, were primarily instrumental and experimental works. Harrison's masterpiece, All Things Must Pass, which included some of his best songs including My Sweet Lord, Wah Wah, and What Is Life, was published the same year that the Beatles came to an end. These songs demonstrated his exceptional songwriting talent, which he had only had a brief opportunity to showcase with the Beatles. Don't Bother Me, the musician's debut song with the Beatles, was written in 1963. He was given a little more artistic freedom as the years went by, and he wrote songs like While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Something, and Here Comes the Sun. Lennon and McCartney were slow to acknowledge Harrison's contributions. Actually, Harrison's brief departure from the Beatles in 1969 was caused by McCartney's creative authoritarianism and his lack of autonomy. But even in their early years, the band wrote the song And I Love Her, which is now among their most well-known pieces and has been performed by a variety of musicians, including Kurt Cobain. For a few of the group, the song marked a turning point, as McCartney told Mojo how much Harrison's efforts impressed him. Harrison had contributed a riff for the first time, one that McCartney and the other members of the band felt was truly unique. I would immediately think of my song And I Love Her, which I brought in pretty much as a finished song, he clarified. However, George started singing Do 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 Do, which is a major component of the song. The first riff, that in my opinion significantly altered the song, and now, every time I hear it, I'm reminded of when George originally thought of it. Without it, that song wouldn't be the same. The song was featured on their third album, A Hard Day's Night, and was sung by McCartney. It has heartfelt lyrics like, A love like ours could never die, as long as I have you near me, which were inspired by his girlfriend, Jane Asher. According to McCartney, it was the first ballad I impressed myself with. And it still holds up, and George played really good guitar on it, as quoted in Barry Miles' book, Many Years From Now. It performed incredibly nicely.